The ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Sahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. First, let us catch up with the major headlines. Minister Osman Saleh discusses with President Trump's senior advisor. Training on administration and leadership for the members of the Central Command. Congo and Rwanda set October rollout for security measures under Trump-backed peace deal. And Indonesia, Canada in Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement to take effect on 2026. On our local report, Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, met yesterday on the margins of 18th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York with Masad Faris Baulos, senior advisor to President Trump on African affairs, to discuss avenues for renewed engagement between the two countries, as well as the prospects of collaboration on vital matters of the regional peace and stability. At the meeting, Minister Osman underscored Eritrea's readiness to engage in meaningful discussion that respects national sovereignty while exploring areas of common interest, particularly in the Horn of Africa, the Nile Basin, and the Red Sea. Minister Osman also reaffirmed Eritrea's commitment to the regional and sustainable development and welcomed the opportunities to assess potential avenues for cooperation with the United States. Mr. Masad Faris, on his part, highlighted the United States' interest in fostering dialogues and understanding on the regional vital international trade, security, and counterterrorism efforts. This engagement will pave a way for a new chapter in the U.S.-Eritrea relations, potentially opening doors for dialogue on trade, investment, infrastructure, transportation, communication, and security partnership, while addressing long-standing concerns and constructive framework. The two sides also agreed to continue the exchange in coming months to renewed bilateral relations. The meeting was attended by Ambassador Sofia Tesfamaram, Eritrea's permanent representative to the United Nations, and Mr. Brahane Gabrihuet, charged the affairs at the Eritrean embassy. The Central Command of the Ministry of Defense has provided training on administration and leadership to 188 of its members. The training was conducted on Allah. At the concluding event of the training on 23rd September, which Brigadier General Tchlek Fly, commander of the Central Command, division commanders and staff members took part, it was reported that over 2 months of the theoretical and practical training covered general concepts of administration, leadership, as well as training of trainers, among other topics. Lieutenant Colonel Tedros Tshome, head of the administration at the command, highlighted the significance of the training in facilitating the daily activities of the command and called on the trainees to apply the knowledge they gained in their daily activities at the workplace. The trainees, on their part, noting that the training will significantly contribute to the effective implementation of their duties, expressed readiness to transfer the knowledge they gained to their fellow members. Speaking at the occasion, Brigadier General Tchlek Fly, noting that administrative knowledge is very broad, calling on the trainees to practically apply the knowledge they received during the training on the ground and provide effective administrative services to the members. The Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare Branch in Elaborate Subzone has provided educational material to 140 disadvantaged students in the subzone. Beneficiary students drawn from the 14th administrative area in the subzone were provided with sufficient educational materials for the 2025-2026 academic year. Mr. Abdelkader Mohammed Ali, head of the Education Office in the subzone, said that the objective of the support was to enable disadvantaged students to continue their education without interrupting during the lack of materials. He also called on beneficiary students to strive to become competitive students. Straight ahead is our international news after a short break. Welcome back. The Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda have agreed to begin implementing key security measures in October as part of the peace deal brokered with support of the U.S. President Donald Trump. This accord signed earlier this year aimed to ease years of deadly conflict in the eastern Congo, where Rwandan-backed M23 rebels and other armed groups have destabilized the region. Under the plan, joint monitoring mechanisms will be established along with the border, while both countries commit to halting supports for proxy militias. The initiative also includes humanitarian access for displaced civilians and the deployment of the neutral services. The agreement is seen as one of the most significant steps in recent years to address tensions and have fueled regional stability and forced millions from their homes. Implementation will be closely watched as previous ceasefires and accords have often collapsed. Officials in Kinshasa and Kigali says October will make the first concrete test, and other political and international backed can finally turn promises into lasting peace. On our last report, Indonesia and Canada officially signed the Indonesia-Canada Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement in Ottawa on Wednesday, local times, with the deal expected to take effect in 2026, according to a statement released by Indonesian Presidential Secretariat on Thursday. The agreement was signed by the trade ministers of both nations, witnessed by visiting Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Under the Indonesian-Canada Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement framework, Canada will eliminate 90.5% of import tariffs on Indonesian products, while Indonesia will loosen 85.8% of its tariffs line. The Indonesian government project that the government could raise national exports to Canada to $11.8 billion by 2030, while contributing an additional 0.12% of gross domestic products and boosting investment by 0.38%. Carney highlighted Indonesia's importance as the world's fourth most populous country, Canada's largest export market in Southeast Asia, and its 18th largest globally. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Minister Usman Saleh discusses with President Trump's senior advisor. Training on administration and leadership for the members of the Central Command. Congo and Rwanda set October rollout for security measures under the Trump-backed peace deal. And Indonesia and Canada ink a comprehensive economic partnership agreement to take effect in 2026. And that wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good night.